you were writing a book, or was it, hey, I just need to get these thoughts out, or did you know like, nah, I'm gonna put this together, and this is gonna be something?
No, I knew. I mean, it was because when I decided, hey, I need to write this book, it was because I had probably 4 chapters that I wanted to write before I even started writing the first chapter.
I'm here with the one and only Dorian Adams. Absolute pleasure to have a chance to chop it up with you here, brother, and just get into this. Had the pleasure a couple months back of reading your first book, He is Able, and I've been real excited to be able to have a conversation with you about this and just understand a bit more about what went into this work. And so, Dorian, tell the people a little bit about yourself.
Just a basic, regular guy that happened to have some really interesting events take place over the course of my life, and at some point I decided to, I was compelled to put together what you find in the book. Just said go for it, Just I wanted to share that experience with people because I don't think a lot of the sentiment that I expressed in my book is stuff that people will even take advantage of having experienced and sharing it with people, unless it's a lot of times it's like I gotta pull teeth to get this type of information out of a person.
Right.
Me being a man, especially men, we probably can identify with situations that it's taboo for us to talk about. It's taboo for us to be vulnerable about real stuff that happened with us, and we kind of file away the happening of that experience and deal with it ourselves.
Let me stop you there. You touched on vulnerability. Mm-hmm. The first thing that jumped out to me as I read this book was the decision you made to come with it 100% raw and real. What I want to understand is, when did you make that decision? I mean, there's different ways to write a book. There's different ways to tell your story and, capture that. When did you make the decision that, hey, if I'm going to write something, it's going to be the unedited, raw version of this?
That's a good question. I like that. I decided to express based on my genuine understanding of the stuff that went on with me in order to allow myself to access those dark places and those dark thoughts that I carried around with me for a long time. And I know those are some of the things that it's other men, other boys, other kids potentially going through, that the only way for me to reach them in their moment of that same, dealing with that same struggle or that same pain is through identification. If you ain't feeling me, we can't even have a conversation about some stuff that you've been carrying around half of your life or all your life. So if you willing to peel the layers of that onion, it's gonna start with somebody being real with you.
Right.
And so that just set the stage for me to say my story or express my experience and then take it in the direction that I needed to go.
Literally like pen and pad, or you just bust out the laptop, or like how did all this start? Was this like journals?
All on paper.
On paper?
All on paper, man. I got the books and everything. I still got them. So the transition
you
from...
You gotta show some shots of that.
Yeah, the transition from the writing of it didn't happen until I knew I was about finished, and I started to load it up into a manuscript form onto my laptop. Mm-hmm. So I literally went through each chapter. First I had a couple of chapters, I'll show it to you, that I had a dog, and my ex's daughter was playing tug with the dog with my book, and ate up some of the pages. So I had to literally come from memory to remember what I had wrote on those chapters. This is my story, was just about putting the words in whatever position.
Yeah.
But yeah, so
That's wild.
and I'm solid.
Yeah, you silence. That's wild.